Hello, for anyone watching this in the future, because I'm not posting these links anywhere live while this is happening. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a internet community that gets together, plays cool role-playing games, indie games, story games, all that good fun. The game we're playing is a duet game that was made for the Emotional Mecha Game Jam, which is basically I want to get sad about piloting robots. Apparently, that's a big genre, to get sad on. Just get sad anyway. That game jam was arranged by John R. Harness and Takuma Okada. There will be a link down below. This game in particular is called Rev Your Engines, written by Mayan Priel. You can find her at Mirthurlin on Twitter and on itch. Links down below as always. So it is weird. This is the first time I've run a duet game. So usually I try to recover by having a bunch of players introduce themselves. But we only have one person here and perennial face on this channel. I guess. You know what? Let's just do it. It's just part of the ritual. Do you want to introduce yourself? You know how it goes.
Yeah, certainly. My name's David. I use he/him pronouns. I'm based in Sheffield in the UK. And a cool thing on the internet that I would like to plug today is I've actually been just starting the last week or so. I've been starting listening to the ironically, the back catalogue of the Backstory podcast by Alex Roberts. Which has some really in-depth interviews with people in the role-playing community. It's sort of good long hour-long chat sort of thing with them that go into some real interesting detail. I think it's part of the One Shot Network. It is. Yep. Just checking that now. But yeah, no, that's been really interesting. She's a really good interviewer, and she's had some really really interesting people on so far. I mean, I say so far. I'm still back in 2016 listening to it, but
God, 2016, it feels like 5 years ago, but it's not. Yeah, also shout out to Alex Roberts' own duet game, Starcrossed, which is that Jenga tower game of forbidden love, which it's as tense as it's advertised. But this game, hopefully, well, I say this will be less tense, but this game, Rev Your Engines, is a two-player game about rivalry, success, and the power of friendship. So, bonds will be tested, rivalries will be ignited. I'm just gonna read the blurb for this, just to get out the premise of the game. The year is 2043. For decades, mechs known as reavers have dominated popular culture. They appear in movies, TV shows, or even one particularly ill-advised musical, but nowhere have they been more popular than in reaver fights. The new craze among kids and teenagers have swept the world. Small miniatures of reaver mechs clash on the battlefield, controlled from afar by their pilots using phone-like devices. Kids duke it out on the streets, dreaming of making it big enough to participate in the showdown, the ultimate tournament of reaver fights. And you're going straight to the top. So in Rev Your Engines, both players are teenagers striving to be the #1 reaver pilot. After months or even years of fine-tuning your equipment, fighting every other fellow pilot that stumbled into your way, you finally clawed your way up into a spot on the showdown. Now you must do anything you can to claim your title, and absolutely no one, especially your rival, is going to get in your way. So, myself and David will be playing rivals in this game, and the character creation is fairly simple. It is just we'll just do those first. So whichever one of those two, David, you want to claim those. So it is just very simple: name, age, reaver mech description. But the most important thing, according to the game, is your motivation. What drives you to the top? Something that evokes deep emotions in them. Something that makes them more passionate than anything else. Prove myself to my neglectful older sister. I don't know, or continue your mentor's legacy. Stuff like that. So we'll take a few minutes to just fill out some stuff. We'll just take a minute. Get another drink of water. All right, I have to ask, what kind of parents would name their kid Ozymandius?
I wanted to go for something that seemed suitably like Gundam-ish in its ridiculousness. So
they do have ridiculous names. Asnable. What does that even mean? I have to go to the ridiculous part of my name document. There's that thing in anime where like your protagonist and the rival are color coded with the protagonist being the fiery, passionate red one, and the rival being the cool, collected like more professional blue one. It looks like people watching this video can't see the character keeper, but it looks like we have fallen into exactly into those
yeah,
alignments.
That sounds about right.
Okay, I think it's just age.
Yeah, what sort of age were you thinking of going for?
I was thinking like, because it says here we're teenagers. Probably not that old teenagers. maybe like just in the middle.
Like 15 or so. That seems like a fairly classic mecha anime.
Yeah. Fate of the world rests on teenagers always. Oh, 15, 16. Nice. Okay, so I guess let's do quick character intros, just like kind of like your pitch. And then we'll figure out a bond, and we'll just jump right in. I'll start with you because again, I think I pretty much said like no. I think if this was going to be anime, your character will be the protagonist. I mean, because your motivation is more wholesome.
Fair. Cool. So I am Ozymandius Maxwell. He's 15 years old. His motivation is to continue his mother's legacy as an ace REAVER pilot. She's almost certainly had some form of tragic end that will get brought up in play. My REAVER mech description, which I must admit I haven't given a name to yet, so I'll have to think on that in a second. But it's a giant golden lion-headed mech powered by solar panels, by solar energy. Because I still love the mysterious cities of gold, so I love that kind of old-fashioned golden solar tech. It can like fire laser blast from its eyes, and with big claws on the hands and feet. It's like lion-headed, but sort of humanoid in form, I think.
Oh, that sounds rad. Yeah, and opposing Ozymandius is his rival. Her name is Cinder Song, age 16, and while Ozymandius is, has a wholesome motivation, her motivation is to prove that she's the best REAVER pilot of her generation. Probably something tragic happened there to spur on why her motivation is that single-minded and to like prove herself the best, which could be construed as a good way, but this is probably more like a negative sort of way. And her REAVER mech does have a name. It's called the Black Star, and have it here is like it's a sleek, spiky, like humanoid mech. So its arms are kind of like spikes coming out to like spiky hands. So it's its legs, and it's got this like wicked, looking like a sharp helmet with this like one staring eye. It's wrapped in menacing black chrome. It's fast. That's what it is. It's nimble. It doesn't have any range weapons because because it can get to you. It doesn't need them because it's quick, and it just uses melee. Which again just shows that I don't need range weapons to beat y'all because I'm good.
Nice.
Okay, so it's a fairly good sketch of the two rivals. We have to decide our bond between the two of us. So the two of us are rivals. There's no disputing that. Just like there are many kinds of friendships, there are many kinds of rivalries. So how did like the two of us meet? Was it before the tournament or just began? If we're having trouble, we can just like roll a d6. Do you have a specific idea, or do you want to just pick from the list?
No, I don't have anything in specific. That they all sound cool.
All right, so I'm just gonna roll. This is the only time we'll be rolling dice here, so might as well use physical one. I don't get to play IRL these days, so all this dice just rotting, so I might as well. Okay, so I rolled a 5. The two of you are rivals for the affection / acknowledgement / attention of a certain person.
Ooh, that's tasty.
I mean, the simplest way to do that would be like, I also want to get the acknowledgement of your mother, who is an ace pilot. That would be the simplest way to do that, but it's probably more juicy for it to be a separate person. Or...
Yeah. That I tend to agree with that.
Is it like a Card Captor Sakura? I don't know if you watched that. there's a in Cardcaptor Sakura, the main character, Sakura. She gets a crush. She has a crush on her older brother's very bishonen best friend, and when her rival comes along, this guy Lee, he also gets a crush on Sakura's older brother's very beautiful best friend. So it could be like that. It could be like a former champion ace pilot, or do you want it to be like someone closer to our age?
Yeah, I was. It could be something like that, or I was also wondering, like an adult figure, perhaps in the sort of again, kind of going down that Evangelion sort of thing. But yeah, well, possibly slightly less creepy than Evangelion, but yeah, no, whatever's cool, really. Yeah, no, maybe someone who's like a bit older, but yeah, not like an adult, not someone in a position of authority, just someone who's like
yeah, someone closer to our age.
Yeah,
definitely. But someone who's like, you know how it is when teenagers meet cooler, older teens, or people who, oh my god, they can drink beer, or they can do so much. They have so much life experience. They're 18. We're never going to reach 18. Yeah. Do you have a name for this person?
I don't.
Let's see. Kind of like the idea that we just need a name. I don't even know if we should have pronouns. They should be like just a figure that we kind of, because we idolize them, we don't have to define them that much other than the coolest bits about them.
Yeah, that sounds good. What's a good Raven? There we go.
Ooh,
full on goth,
Ooh, yeah. They have that mysterious vibe.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued with them. I don't know, Raven Sky or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Or at least painfully
painfully anime.
Yeah.
Might save that name for using future game, actually. Okay, so yeah, we are rivals for the affection, acknowledgement, attention of Raven Sky. I guess like their motivations will play into that. So okay, so the story progresses through a game of tic-tac-toe. So we have our 3x3 grid, and we have those prompts. So whoever goes first, it's determined by which of your characters is currently in the lead in our rivalry. And obviously, I think we have. I don't know if we can do knots and cross on this, so we're just going to color it with a respective color.
Sure thing.
Who do you think's in the lead?
That's a good question. I think maybe Cinder is at the minute.
Okay, so I legitimately have not played tic-tac-toe in years, because why would you? All right, so let's see. Okay, let me see what's the color I'm using. There we go. I think you know what? Let's start from the start. Let's do let's do our first meeting. Kind of like just to like maybe, when we were like rookies still, or not rookies, but like we were just starting out. Maybe there's some buzz because your mother's an ace pilot, that and you're here to like live up to the Maxwell name, and me, I don't know, I'm a bit of a dark horse. Do you think that's you fine with that?
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
Okay, so it's kind of like let's each of us like kind of like. All right, I'm kind of frame it. I'm assuming it is it's like a qualifier for the showdown or for a showdown that year. And I think I'm kind of thinking this is before we kind of see each other in action.
Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, I think Ozymandius is like in the hangar, and he's like up on some scaffolding up around the sort of the superstructure of the yes, I should say I do have a name. I do have a name for my mecha now. It is Ultimo Rex, which I'm sure is fine as far as copyright infringement goes. And he's like polishing up the sort of, like I said, it's got these kind of golden plates all over it that absorb solar energy to power it, and he's out there kind of carefully polishing those down and maybe burnishing out the odd nick and gash that's picked up from sort of training and the like.
I think you kind of hear. I think this hangar is probably like half full. There are probably some people. I think this might be late in the day, and you're working on your mech because you're a professional. But you kind of hear footsteps walking towards your mech, and then you hear a voice just call, Is this the newest Maxwell?
Yes, I'm Ozymandius. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Cinder Song. I'm also a pilot. Going to be entering these qualifiers. I just came by to see what's your mother's name?
Artemis.
I just came by to see the so-called successor to Artemis Maxwell.
Well, and he kind of spreads his arms and he says, you can see me now, but you'll get a better view of me in the arena, I'm sure.
I'm sure, but I was just curious. Like, Artemis did so much, and I was wondering if her successor would be up to snuff.
You can bet I am, and I'll show everyone that I'm fit to bear her name.
Oh, I'm sure you can. And then she kind of looks away for a bit because she noticed that kind of a mech just came in to park in the hangar, and it's I think it's Raven Sky's mech, and it's yeah, the detail as well. I'm kind of imagining it's a winged mech. Like it's got this like sharp, like taloned, like wings that can shoot out, explosive feathers or something like that.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. And I'm still standing in front of your mech, but my gaze kind of wanders away. It's like seeing like, ooh, is that Raven Sky?
Wow, that mech's so awesome. I've never seen it up close before.
Well, and then I kind of when you say it's awesome, it's like, wait. Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure like you know all about how Raven won the last showdown and how they managed to penetrate Gray Turtle's fences, and when they did that counter maneuver, and wait, you do know all about that, right?
Of course, they're one of the best pilots out there at the minute. I mean, their perfect use of the Immelman maneuver in the third round qualifiers was like, straight out of the textbook.
Cinder kind of smiles. It's like nods and kind of realize what she's doing, and then she's just like, well, knowing all that probably is not going to help you against them.
Well, I'll give them my best, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I hope your best is good enough, and hope to see you in the fight myself.
Yeah, I want to see what you can do.
Oh, don't worry, you'll see all of it. I'm not here to shake hands, Maxwell.
Well then, I'll see you in the arena.
And I think she doesn't say goodbye. She's not that type to say goodbye.
Yeah,
she
that's
turns and goes to her mech, which is kind of curled up. When it's curled up and kind of like powered down, it does look like a star, but it looks like a star that's just made out of barbs and thorns. All right, that's a cool first meeting. All right, your turn. Do you have any strategies for knots and crosses you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think corners are good. I mean, obviously the central one is important, but I'm not sure I want to go there quite yet because it's quite a juicy one. So
yeah.
I think I'm going to go for upgrade.
Ooh. So does that mean you got an upgrade to your mech?
I think so, yeah. So I think maybe where we sort of start the scene is I'm wondering if we want this to be a contest between ourselves or one where I'm fighting against a random person and you're spectating, whichever you think is more fun.
I think the former, because I kind of like the idea that you got an upgrade that's getting under my skin, that's getting under my defenses or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe this is this is a bit further on from when we first met. We've fought a few times now.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's the upgrade?
So yeah, I think we see Cinder. We kind of keep seeing Cinder's obviously the Black Star is a much faster Reaver than Ultima Rex, and we see the Black Star kind of coming in and making a few swipes at Ozymandius, at Ultima Rex's armor. And it happens a couple of times, and it's sort of Ultima Rex is kind of bearing the assaults, but the third time when the Black Star comes in, Ultima Rex fires sort of jet boosters from the feet and leaps backwards suddenly and lets out a blast from sort of the eye lasers, which catch the Black Star square in the core, sort of thing.
Ooh, yeah. I think that is kind of like that sounds very decisive, and I think it catches like, because I think Cinder has been very confident and like, yeah, no, I know how Ultima works, and this sudden like flexibility, this nimbleness, like, no, I'm meant to be the nimble one, and yeah, I think it catches Black Star in chest and kind of smashes her away and kind of it probably smashes the mech against the wall, and then you kind of hear Cinder's voice kind of like pipe in, because I don't know why mechs just like allow anyone to just pipe in, but or no, I think it's probably a speaker coming out, and she's like, "Oh, finally you've learned to get off your feet, Ultima. Took you long enough."
Well, I wanted to make sure you got complacent first, Cinder. You've used the same tactics since we first started. It wasn't difficult to work out how to get one up on you.
You're trying to pass yourself off as smart now? Didn't you just buy some fancy trinket or whatever? That's just what it is. It's just using funds. It's not about honing your skill. You can tell that she's throwing whatever. She's kind of like trying to get the Black Star to get up.
Well, you know I've got them now, so let's see if you can take me this time. And Ultima Rex kind of takes up a fighting stance, waiting for you to get back to your feet.
Cinder kind of sighs and is like, well, if you're gonna tell me to shape up that bluntly, then fine, I will. And you can hear her pressing buttons, and suddenly because she's also got an upgrade, the limbs of the Black Star start shooting off into and start targeting you like multiple bogeys all at once. It's kind of like where the cavities of where the limbs fall off are now like their own jet boosters, and the kind of like the core mech with the head of Black Star starts floating, and these 4 other like now missiles are kind of like waving around you, and you kind of hear Cinder going, "You may be able to get off your feet, Ultima, but I doubt that that those boosters are nimble enough for you to escape my storm."
Damn. Nicely played, Cinder. And I think Ultima Rex is going to start like slapping at the flying things like sort of King Kong style, But yeah, I think they probably are more maneuverable and are sort of hemming the Reaver in.
Hold on, give me a second. I need to switch earphones because one of these is giving out.
No worries.
I have a spare here on this table. I just need the untangling process.
Yeah.
This is just gonna annoy me that one of these earphones are dying on me. I laughed at AirPods, but look at me now. A fool. Oh shit! I just realized these are Apple earphones, so they're only used for an iPhone. Never mind, I'll just stick with these. That was pointless. I'll get some earphones later. Anyway, so what was the last bit you said? What's Ultima Rex's position?
So yeah, I think Ultima Rex is being is being like hemmed in by these flying missile limb things. Like I said, it's kind of swatting them away, but I think they're surrounding him on all sides, and he doesn't really have any sort of countermeasures for that sort of thing.
So do you yield, Maxwell?
Fine. You have me this time, Cinder.
I think the klaxon rings out, and the limbs come back to Black Star, and you hear the crowd going, "Ah!" And announcers going, "Yeah, Cinder song racks up another victory in this heated rivalry." What you don't see is that her back in the cockpit, she kind of leaves a sigh as she looks at her power core, which is down to like 2%.
Nice. Yeah, and I think I think that Ozymandius gets out of the cockpit into like I imagine one of those like almost like the things you use for getting off planes, sort of things on the extendable scissor things.
Yeah.
And as he gets out, he kind of looks across at the sort of grandstand box, and we kind of zoom in where Raven is sort of sat there watching the end of the match with a kind of enigmatic expression on their face.
Oh, they're so dreamy when they do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a cool shot to end there. Now the choice when it comes to tic-tac-toe. Should I extend mine or should I try to block yours? You know what? I'm gonna extend mine because I'm a coward. Let's go with tears because I'm interested. What does that look like? I think this is what it is. I think Maxwell's gonna catch me at a vulnerable moment. I think this is probably back at the hangar, and I think I think it's probably. I feel like we're kind of the type of pilots who are obsessive enough about this that we're the ones who stick a via the hangar the longest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think
we've kind of got ground crew who do most of the repairs and stuff, but we sort of stick around to like do the final check off after they've finished.
Yeah, I think probably, and it's always a passive aggressive war of who gets to leave last.
Yeah,
of course it is. I do think you probably had left first of the two of us, but I don't know, you probably forgot something and you came back.
Yeah.
And you hear sobbing, just gentle crying over near the Black Star.
Yeah, and I think Ozymandius, I sort of come in, and I sort of go over to near Ultima Rex and pick up like a duffel bag sort of thing and sling it over my shoulder. And probably as I'm picking it up, you kind of see, I sort of glance over towards Black Star. I sort of shrug the duffel bag on, and I sort of start taking a couple of steps back towards the exit again, but then sort of sigh and turn back around again, and walk towards Black Star.
I think Cinder's sitting just in front of Black Star. I don't think she's in it, but when you kind of reach up to her, she's looking at data pad and tears falling on it.
Cinder, are you okay? Have you had some bad news?
I think she whirls around at you and she kind of sees it's you, and it's like, and she starts rubbing her face like on her coat, and it's like,
I think I'm going to kind of look away a bit, almost like embarrassed.
Do I look okay, Maxwell? What did you even? I thought you'd.
I left my bag. I just came back for it.
Well, no, I'm not okay, Maxwell. If you really want to know. But don't think I'm gonna start telling right now. We're not friends. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't want you claiming you're not ready for our next fight, using it as an excuse.
She kind of stands up and it's like, "What? You think this is gonna let me affect me? No, Maxwell. I take this very seriously. I don't have any, I won't use any excuses. Whenever we meet in the battlefield, you always get my 100%. This is not going to get in the way of that. How?
Glad to hear it.
I thought you knew better than that, Maxwell.
And I'm going to shrug and say, well, I guess I'll leave you to it then. Yeah, see you next time.
Yeah. Go back to you. She really wants to say something, but like, what? Because you've insinuated she's an excuse. She doesn't want to talk to you now. I think she just rubs her eyes and kind of like tosses the data pad down and goes back to her mech.
Cool.
I love, like, if you go down your route, the prompts to block either of ours.
Yes, yeah.
It's so much.
So yeah, I think I've got to go for betrayal. It's which, yeah, I'm not sure.
Ooh, what do you think betrayal is? I mean, you caught me in a vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't a fight. Maybe this is some sort of like soiree, or it's like a. Because the only thing I can think right now of you betraying me is like telling people you caught me crying and whatnot.
Yeah, this is it. I was wondering maybe either that or possibly some sort of betrayal from a third party. But yeah, I think maybe oh yeah, so maybe it's like the kind of the post like match party that evening, and I think maybe there's been a sort of there's been like a clip, like a news clip on the TV, where where I've been caught sort of by the paparazzi sort of coming out of the hangar, and you know, sort of one of them like has sort of said like, oh, you know, we hear it was just you know, you and Cinder in there. Is anything going on? And he sort of, you know, reacts like, you know, he's like, no, there's nothing like that going on. She was just upset about. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not important. But no, there's nothing like that going on. And these the sort of headlines that are going around, like, you know, is Cinder Song crumbling under the pressure? You know, standard sort of tabloid stuff.
Yeah, so like when we get into this like party, you'll probably be there first.
Yeah.
First. And I guess this would be a silly question, but what are you dressed as? What are you dressed like?
Yeah, so I'm thinking I kind of want to. I'm thinking like a so I'm imagining again that kind of, you know, vague future-ish Gundam style thing. So I think I've got like one of those you know, the sort of almost military-ish tunics that sort of goes up, you know, sort of goes up the side and across sort of thing, with sort of, yeah, fastens up the side and across, in a kind of metallic-y gold type material, something quite flashy, with sort of like just like tight black trousers, legging things underneath, and you know, hair sort of styled slightly differently to normal, a bit more fancy.
Yeah. Actually, I'm imagining Cinder in kind of the same sort of style all this time, but with like a big black duster. But I think for this party, she's kind of like, she's made herself up this time, and she's wearing this nice black dress that looks like it's made out of like some sort of shiny like scales or feathers,
Cool.
and she looks like this is probably the first time you've seen her all done up.
Yeah.
Quite well. It's like she's put on something. And
I
don't
think
think
we definitely get that sort of reaction shot where he kind of looks at her and blushes slightly, because, you know, it's she's suddenly like looking you know, all fancy.
Yeah, and raise an eyebrow at that. It's like, what are you looking at? And then because I don't think I've seen the clip until we get to the party.
Yeah.
And when she sees the clip, yeah, you can, you know, she's always been kind of cold to you, but in that playful sort of "come on, Maxwell" sort of thing.
Yeah.
But now you know this, she is way more colder than it is than she was, and she's. I think every time you kind of feel her eyes on you throughout the party.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for most of the evening, I'm going to kind of do that. Not, I mean, obviously avoiding her, but sort of, you know, trying not to be too obvious about it. Though obviously he is, because, you know, he's 15. But I think towards the end of the evening, when it's sort of starting to wind down a bit, and the kind of essentially like the mandatory fun part of the evening is over. And I imagine a lot of people just sort of leave at that point, because, you know, they've been to dozens of these things and they don't want to spend all day hanging around with the people they work with, sort of thing. And yeah, I come up to up to Cinder and say, look, about that thing with the press earlier, I'm sorry, I didn't, they just flustered me. Okay.
Well, that just proves to me that you're an idiot out of the battlefield. You're as big an idiot out of the battlefield as you are in it, Maxwell.
They were. Look, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have said anything to them. But I did. So sorry.
Well, I believe you're sorry, Maxwell. That doesn't mean I have to forgive you now.
Fine, whatever. You do what you want.
Next time I see you, it'll be in the field and nowhere else. I don't. I don't want to see your face unless it's me beating you to a pulp, which is what's going to happen.
You wish. That trick won't work a second time.
Who says that's my only trick?
Well, let's see what you can bring next time.
I'll bring everything I have, and you're not gonna get me as easy as you thought you did. You're not the only one who's armored up to the gills. You can tell like her voice is kind of trembling a bit. Her defenses are not as strong as she would have liked them to be.
Yeah, well, no matter how strong the armor is, I'll always find a way through it.
Same here. I think she kind of like necks her, not alcohol, just some punch, and kind of crushes the cup. And she kind of stalks away.
Cool.
Oh God, these poor teenagers. Okay. Oh shit. Tactically, I know which prompt I should go for, but I don't know if this is appropriate. Actually, no. Let's go for it. I'm gonna take the middle spot.
Yeah.
Let's go for a confession. And I think this is simple. I think in the next fight we have, I think as much as she said that this whole you catching her crying she's not gonna let it get to her. She totally lets it get to her.
Who could have predicted this?
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought that teenagers are bad at gauging how emotionally distraught they are? And I think in the next fight, I think you beat me resoundingly. This might be like not the next day, but like just the next time we meet. I think this is kind of like you can tell that even like shots that you were just using a covering fire, they're nicking Black Star. She's not as fast as she usually is.
Yeah, and I think maybe we have sort of more of just a kind of getting in and just trading blows and punching and stuff than our fights usually involve. There's usually a lot more kind of dodging backwards and forwards and that sort of thing. Whereas this time it is much more just kind of almost not quite just standing there and trading punches, but not far off. A lot more, yeah.
Yeah, and I think she is bringing that fight to the punching more deliberately, but it's not playing to her strengths, and that's why you're kind of overpowering her. Like whenever they exchange, it's like she kind of just draws back and just kind of grits her teeth and jumps back in. But I'm engaging you at your, at your level and at where you're best at.
Yeah, and I think it kind of ends with with Ultima Rex kind of sweeping the legs out from underneath Black Star and sort of slamming, putting one hand on and slamming the mech down into the ground. There's that kind of tremble across the arena as it sort of slightly craters the sort of concrete floor.
What do you say to Cinder?
I think there was just going to be that kind of shout over the comms where he just says, "I got you," and it's that almost like mixture of like surprise but an exhilaration. He's, you know, obviously not thinking about anything other than the fact that he has managed to get the win.
Of course. And I think Black Star kind of struggles, but for a moment. But I think kind of like the officials kind of rule. Yeah, the klaxon airs because you've clearly gotten her, and yeah, the klaxon just like rules like winner of this bout, Ozymandius Maxwell, and we maybe cut to like the announcers going, he's making his mother proud tonight, that sort of thing, and kind of like once you kind of let go, I think. Does Ozzy kind of like when they get out of the mech, do kind of like bask in it? Or...
Yeah, I think he does. I think he sort of, you know, gets out and, you know, does the kind of, you know, fists up in the air, sort of victory celebrations. And yeah, as he sort of gets down and sort of, you know, you can see he is sort of genuinely excited and sort of pumped to have won.
Yeah, I think maybe in the corner of your eye, you spot that Cinder's gotten out of her mech and is just trying to like walk with her head held high, but you kind of tell she's kind of like walking as fast as she can so she can get out of, just not be around your victory.
Yeah.
I think if you can, you'll probably like you can probably like find her at the hangar again.
Yeah, sure thing. And yeah, I think after he's kind of, you know, had the initial kind of victory lap or whatever in the arena, and it comes back into his you know, where his reaver is being sort of brought back in and fixed up. I think he is going to find find Cinder, and, you know, he'll kind of offer his hand and say, "That was a damn good fight today, Cinder."
No, it wasn't. Don't be nice to me. I messed up. That was just be honest. Say what you want to say.
I mean it. You really showed. I mean, sure, you know, you weren't playing to your strengths, but you still took Rex on head to head, and damn, you had me close a couple of times there. I thought you were going to put me down for a minute or two, but
if I was doing any better, I would have. But no, I know, Maxwell. I see what you're trying to do with this. And she's kind of like entering stuff on her datapad very frantically, as she's kind of like trying to figure out what to say to you. And she's just like, I appreciate trying to be nice, but I would have thought that we neither of us were here to make friends. You don't need to butter me up like that. I can take it. I can take anything. That's what I do.
I mean, I know you can, and that's why you're such a damn good pilot. But, well, look, I think you showed some real guts and some real skill out there today. And
when did you start wanting to be a Reaver pilot, Maxwell?
I don't know. I guess I've always wanted to. We always had, you know, Mum's old trophies and that around the house, and, you know, used to watch videos of her fights.
She must have been so damn proud when you went to the field as well, right?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Don't you know?
Well, she doesn't talk about it much these days.
Do you think she'd be as proud as you think she is if you weren't a pilot?
I don't know, I guess. Maybe not.
At least you have that maybe. I don't. This is the only thing I'm good at, Maxwell. If I'm not good at it, I'm not anyone. I'm not worth anything. I I don't have a legacy. I don't have that much money, frankly. I don't I don't I don't have anyone who, I don't know, pay for an education or whatever. This is all I have, Maxwell. If I'm not the best at it, then I might as well be nobody.
Well, I think if you keep up the way you are, one day you will be the best. The focus you have, the drive. I think you're going to go all the way.
Told you don't need to butter me up. Thanks, though.
I mean, I'm not going to stop trying to beat your ass, and as long as I can, I will.
I wouldn't expect anything less from a Maxwell. Excuse me, I have to total up my bill and budget and whatnot,
Sure.
Okay, I think that's a good place to end it. We've been here for an hour. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. I need
Sure
to
thing.
get some water just in case, and I need to turn on the lights. You can
Yeah.
tell the room has gone dim.
Yeah.
Let's step away for like 5 minutes.
Cool. Yeah, see you in a sec. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so it's your turn.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go for the obvious play here, and take that teaming up box.
Ooh. I like that moment in the narrative where like we've reached some sort of, we built a bridge, now we have to like use it.
Yeah.
What are we teaming up against?
Oh, I think it's like I think there's like a sort of an exhibition match where we have to tag team Raven.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Or tag team or fight or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's pit our two like best up and coming pilots against our, let's face it, they are kind of like the ace, or the top star. And how's Ozymandius feeling about that?
Like I feel in some ways he's almost like too confident to like be nervous, but at the same time I think he is still a bit nervous about it because Raven is badass and
yeah, I think Cinder. That's what she can be called. Yeah, I think if she had friends, they'd call her Cindy, but she doesn't have friends. Anyway, I think in the lead up to the match, she has been peppering you nonstop with like, okay, look, all right, so Raven used the version 2.5 of their battle wings, but I've been hearing that there's like a new patch in that allows for more torque, and they've added like all this. So so you better like read up on this. Let's not look stupid in front of Raven.
Yeah, of course. And I think like if I try and pin them down while you like dash in, maybe we can like try and overwhelm them before they can get a chance to bring their main gun to bear.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. You do what you best. You just stand out and stand your ground, I guess. Leave it to me to like try and get in, and hopefully that'll work. Yeah, since you picked the prompt, you tell me if it works.
Yeah, I think it's like, because it is just an exhibition match sort of thing. It's not necessarily as cutthroat as it would be if it was a ranking match sort of thing. And I think that we do put in a good standing against Raven, and like I think maybe we kind of like win on points.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's like not a kind of an overwhelming it's not like an overwhelming victory sort of thing, but I think we do just manage to overcome them.
Ooh. So what's kind of like your reaction to that? Like oh my god, we did it, to an extent.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I thought, I mean, when they did that flip and flipped round and came up from behind you, I thought you were a gunner, but wow, you got out of the way of that so fast.
If you see Cinder's face, yeah, somehow she actually looks disappointed. as if you're kind of narrating this, and when you actually turn to see it, look at her face, she actually looks like, hmm.
Oh, come on, we did great. We did great against them.
We did okay. We won on the technicality. Like, you think Raven would respect us if that's how we win against them? Like, they're not gonna like they're not even like talking to us. They didn't even talk to us or anything. They just like, okay.
Well, I mean, I guess, you know, they're busy and like maybe. Damn, do you think we should have let them win?
Nah, Raven's not that kind of pilot. I just think next time we just need to do better. You know, instead of just win on points, just win. Decisive, like a knockout. Not to say that that we didn't do well, like that trick you did of using your boosters to kind of like weather the storm. That was really cool.
Yeah, maybe if I'd gone more aggressive on them at the beginning, I could have, maybe we could have taken the momentum out of them and had them up against the ropes and properly finished it.
Yeah, and then Raven would have to acknowledge us if we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely next time. I don't think I'd. She kind of like she was about to say something, and then she kind of like suddenly says it's like zip. And she suddenly like doesn't know if she can say it.
What is it?
No, nothing. It's just I just thought that if I ever get to fight Raven again, I'd be glad to do it with you.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like next time, we definitely get them.
Yeah, like we're not idiots, We learn. Like you're not completely. You're pretty good. And like you said, we can learn. Then next time we'll beat Raven, and then maybe they'll talk to us. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Do you reach out to? Is it like a shaking hand sort of deal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you shake hands, but Cinder's like, still gonna kick your ass in the finals.
Oh yeah, just you try.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want from that, or
no? I think that's.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect it to come to this, but I think you notice where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who can't see the character keeper, a rare thing has happened. There is going to be a decisive winner in this tic-tac-toe. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take that. Fighting in the rain. And there's a bit about the winner. Hold on. If the game ends with decisive winner, narrate how the winner's pilot also won the championship. The focus shouldn't be on the decisive battle itself, but its aftermath. How does your rival take your victory? What does the future hold for your rivalry? I think it is, yeah. I mean, what's more dramatic than fighting in the fucking rain? And the finals of this showdown. And I kind of like, we don't have to describe the battle itself, but I kind of want like a quick scene at the start beforehand, right before the klaxon starts. Then you kind of hear broadcast from the Black Star just saying, "Oh, Good luck, Ozzy.
Good luck, Cinder.
I'm not gonna hold. And I think you hear a petulant like, oh, well, and yeah, I think we don't have to describe the details, but very much like if this is like the season finale of an anime, it is just like this fight probably lasts like 5 episodes. No, we're not. This is a Gundam. This is a mech anime. This isn't Dragon Ball. Although this is more like, okay, let's not getting into a tangent. This will last multiple episodes, and it is very much like, yeah, we're all the two of us, using all we've learned from our fights, from the team up we had, and we take it to the limit, I guess, right at the very edge of the time limit. And I want to give you the choice. Do you think Cinder wins decisively or also just on points?
No, I think decisively would be cooler.
Yeah, I think this is very much a case of like, I think it feels like once we kind of reach the end, it is just like we're kind of spent. Both our power cores are kind of really down to their lowest, and it's just one last like run up to each other.
Yeah, and I think kind of like you mentioned in the thing before, I think that Ozzy boosts Rex's like boosters at the last minute to kind of send him in for to just up his speed, but it just slightly overcompensates and sort of goes past you a little bit, sort of too wide, so it gives you kind of the opportunity to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and I think is very much like, yeah. So your aim kind of misses, but mine is like focused and sharp, and it's very much a sharp talent finger right at your core, and it's just Cinder going, I win.
Oh, damn it, I thought I had you there.
Thinking's not the same as doing.
Well played, Cinder. You deserved that.
You hear a sigh, and it's like, thanks. And then the klaxon goes like, winner for this year's REAVER Showdown. And yeah, I think when we kind of come out of your mechs, you kind of see like I think the previous time Cinder has won is very much like a kind of like she's putting on like of course I knew I'd win sort of air. But this time you kind of you notice this that air is kind of gone, and she's just a bit more relaxed, and she gives like a quick wave like, hey. And then maybe one last scene, just the two of us again at the hangar before like the festivities or whatnot, or
yeah, sure thing.
Kind of like after like some sort of trophy ceremony, but before like the party, it's just the two of us at the hangar again.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, again, Ozymandius is just looking over his mech as like the ground crew sort of start to perform the repairs and the like on it.
I think you kind of hear panting, and you see like Cinder's trying to lug this ridiculous giant trophy, and then she kind of like puts it in front of the black star with a big clang, and it's just like, it never looked that heavy on the hollow screens.
Yeah, that's some trophy.
Do you want to see something? And she kind of gestures to the plaque. You can see kind of like all the names of the people who won the Reaver Showdown, how many times does your mom's name show up?
A few, I think. Yeah.
I think Cinder asks, was she here tonight?
No, she couldn't make it tonight, but
well, I'm sure like when she shows up, and she should, I'm sure you'll be adding your name to this one soon. Well,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna try again.
Well, if you think me winning is gonna make me complacent, think otherwise, Maxwell.
As I said before, there's no point in beating you if you're not putting everything into it. So
I expect you when I meet you in the battlefield next. You'll be stronger and better. It'll be, just a bit more of a challenge. Put on like that old Cinder snottiness just a bit there.
Yeah, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. Next time I'll get you.
I'm looking forward to that. But since next time's a while. Okay, so there's a party there's like a VIP section at the party for like former champions, and Raven's gonna be there, and I was told I could have a +1. Do you want to come talk to Raven?
Sure, that'd be cool if if there's not someone else you'd rather take.
Well, I don't really have anyone else except for you. She's looking at her feet now.
Okay, then cool. Let's do it. Maybe we can get Raven to give us another match.
Yeah, or maybe we can pick their mind and we can figure out their weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And I think when she's gonna walk away, she starts laying out the plan to entrap Raven. It's like, okay, so you say this, and then I'm gonna laugh here at this point, and then I think we will end it there. Two of them walking away. Not heated rivals, but something else. Yeah, I didn't expect to not draw.
No. I think I made a tactical error by not taking that center square on my first turn, but it just seemed far too early to have the confession come up. It was
definitely. I think next time I've ever played this game, because the thing is, you're meant to mix it up. It's not meant to be that like that. So I think if it was something else, if it wasn't confession, we would have thought tactically. We're like, yeah. Well, anyway, I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, no, that was great fun. Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. I'm gonna stop the broadcast here and
cool.
Chat a bit more. We'll give each other stars. Why not? Sure.
Yeah,
let's just do that because that's fun. But yeah, I'll stop the broadcast. Links to play this game at Rev Your Engines. You can find it down there. Written by Mayan Priel at Mertherlin. It's part of the emotional mecha game jam. Links all out down below. Find all the content stuff there. This is a blast. Again, David, thanks so much for playing with me.
Yeah, and thank you.
I'll stop the broadcast now.